Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video I'll be talking about the LG G3 and I'll give you my initial impressions. I have been using this device now for about just over 3 days, and I just wanted to give you my impressions. I have taken down some notes about this device, so I'll talk about it, my initial experience with this device. Nowhere this is a full review because I'm still testing this device, and I just wanted to make clear that this LG G3 comes in two variants, the 16 GB variant and the 32 GB variant. The 16 GB variant has 2 gigs of RAM, whereas the 32 GB variant has 3 gigs of RAM, and I'm actually using the 32 GB variant that has 3 gigs of RAM. So my experience will be based upon that. First, coming to the build is actually decent, but again it's a plasticky phone. The entire casing is plastic, yes. At the back it is a little bit curved, so it's smooth to hold, and also it sports a large screen that's a 5.5 inch screen, and it has a quad HD display that's higher than HD. I'll talk about the display a bit later. And some of you have also asked me about the call quality. The call quality via the earpiece is excellent. I would say it's 10 on 10. In the past 3 days I've made a ton of voice calls. The voice clarity was very clear. Now if we move to multitasking and performance on this device, this LG G3 comes with its own skin, that is LG's own skin, and it does offer a lot of functionality, and the amount of customization that it offers is incredible for the skin. For example, you can even customize the virtual buttons at the bottom if you want something extra, and if you want to swap around those things, you can even customize the toggles over here. So the amount of customization that LG has provided is actually pretty good. But one thing I did notice is that, and now it is a little bit less, earlier this phone there was just one update about just about 3 days ago. Before that, I would say the phone was very laggy, and it was kind of disappointing for a flagship phone. But now after the latest software update, it was a 100 odd MB update, the phone performs actually a lot better, and it does not lag that much, I would say. Yes, there is a minor noticeable lag, but again I would say if you are not just looking for that lag, you won't notice it. So the performance has been actually better now on this device after that software update. Now coming to the battery life, again I would say this is based on my 3 days of usage of this device. I would say I'm not terribly impressed with the battery life. The battery is a 3000 milliamp hour battery, and the back cover can be open, so you can swap out the battery. But in my experience, if you're coming even from the LG G2, the LG G2 gave me actually better battery life. I would say on an average, I would say the past 2 days I was out the entire day. I left in the morning at about 8:30 and came back in the evening at around 8:30 or 9, and it was on 3G all the time. And my on-screen time I was having was around just over 2 hours 20 minutes or something like that, and the battery fell down to about 25%, which is kind of disappointing in my opinion, because with the LG G2 I used to get a lot better battery life. And even if you compare it with the HTC One M8, which is again a flagship device as of now, that also does give me a lot better battery life compared to this LG G3. So, and this is without any gaming etc. The phone was used for normal usage, business purposes, lots of calls, texting, WhatsApp, Twitter etc. So the battery life as of now, I would say it'll last you for a working day, but the battery life is not excellent like I experienced on the LG G2. Now some of you have also asked me regarding the micro SD card slot. Yes, this device has a micro SD card slot. The back cover opens and you can put it, and it accepts micro SD cards up to 128 gigs. And regarding the camera, here I'm happy about the camera. The rear facing camera is a 13 megapixel camera, and it also has that laser autofocus, so it's very fast to focus, and it also has this dual tone flash, and it has optical image stabilization. And in my testing, I would say during the last couple of days, I could take some very good shots. Even indoor lighting conditions, it was not firing the flash, and then also the pictures came out to be pretty good. Also, it can record the 4K video. Another thing I did notice is that the front facing camera is actually pretty good. I would say much better than other flagship device. I'll actually post another video regarding the front facing camera if you guys want that. But the front facing camera is also very good on this LG G3. Regarding gaming, I actually did the gaming earlier with this phone, not during the past 3 days. I've already posted a gaming review with this, but some of you have asked me to play some latest games also, like Modern Combat 5. If you guys would like that I do that, do post them in the comments and I'll try to post that video also. I have to check how is the gaming performance now after that software update, because prior to that software update, in some of the high-end games, for example in Asphalt, here and there I did notice some drop frames, but I have to check how is this performance after the software update. Regarding the screen quality, yes, it sports a 5.5 inch screen and a quad HD screen. That's almost a 2K screen, which is kind of incredible in terms of the spec sheet. But I would say in day-to-day usage, and I've said this earlier also, it is not a huge wow factor. I've shown this phone to many people. I was on a business meet, and yes, they looked at it and nobody just said wow at the screen. It's a good quality screen, don't get me wrong. It's not a bad panel, but the upgrade from a 1080p to quad HD is not that high. And in terms of the cons is that I feel that this screen, due to that 2K screen, consumes a lot more power. And also in terms of the brightness, if you keep it at max, it is not as bright as some other phones. Don't get me wrong, if you keep it at auto brightness in office settings and indoor settings, the brightness is good enough. I did not have any issues with it. But in direct sunlight, I felt the brightness was simply not there on this device. Now coming to USB OTG, yes, USB OTG is supported on this. Some of you have asked me about the speaker also. Yes, this device has a 1 watt speaker. That's a backfiring speaker. It's loud enough, I would say, and clarity is actually there on that. Now coming to single hand operations, here I felt that the device is a little bit wide because holding in a single hand is a little bit of a stretch in my opinion. So yes, if you have very small hands, handling this device in a single hand might be an issue. But if you have large size hands and you are comfortable with large devices like Note, etc., then I don't think so you'll have an issue with this LG G3 regarding the size. And I also did some GPS navigation with this during the past 3 days. And I have to say the GPS navigation was excellent and it could lock to the GPS satellites very quickly. So these are some of my initial impressions with this LG G3. I have actually also posted some other videos regarding this LG G3. Links for those videos will be in the YouTube show notes. And I will also be doing a full in-depth review for this device. Another good thing that I forgot to mention is that I really like that this LG G3 supports the wireless Qi charging. So it is built in with the edition that we are getting in India. The back plate does support wireless Qi charging. You don't have to put a separate plate. So if you have a wireless Qi charger, you can just place it on it and it charges. So that's a good thing. Again, I'll be doing a full in-depth review of this device. So if you have any specific questions regarding this LG G3, and if you would like that I include them in my review, do post those questions in the YouTube comments. So that's it for now. This is Ranjit and I hope to see you in my next video.